Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're jumping right back into our analysis of the UP PGT 2016 economics paper. We've already tackled the first 20 questions, and today we're diving into the next 10, starting right at question 21. Let's get to it.
All right, so for this next set, we're going to switch things up a little. Think of it as a quick-fire challenge round. 10 questions, 10 crucial economic concepts. I'll throw the question at you, and you take a quick second to think about the answer before I reveal it. Sound good? Let's begin.
First up, we're kicking things off with a couple of big topics: national income and global institutions. You know, these are bread and butter concepts for any economics exam, so let's make sure we've got them down. Okay, question number 21. This one's all about national income. In India, who is responsible for estimating it? You've got your 4 options there. Take a second to think it over.
And the correct answer is D, the Central Statistical Organization, or the CSO. It was set up way back in 1951. But, and this is super important, there's been an update you absolutely have to know. In 2019, the CSO was merged with the National Sample Survey Office, the NSSO, to form the National Statistical Office, or NSO. So if you see this question today, the answer would really be the NSO. That's a key piece of current info right there.
All right, on to the next one. Picture this. A bunch of countries get together. They agree on free trade between them, they set up a common tariff for everyone else, they let capital and labor move freely, and they coordinate their monetary policies. What do you call that whole arrangement? And that, my friends, is an economic union. You have to remember, this is the deepest, most integrated level of a regional trade agreement. It's got everything: free trade, common tariffs, free movement of people and money, but it adds that extra layer of coordinated fiscal and monetary policy. The best example? The European Union, of course. Let's stick with the theme of international institutions. Question 23 asks, who's in charge of administrating the International Development Association, the IDA? Is it the IMF, the World Bank, GATT, or the ADB? What do you think? You got it, it's the World Bank. The IDA, which started in 1960, is a really important part of the World Bank Group. You know, its whole purpose is to provide those super low interest or even no interest loans and grants to the world's poorest developing countries.
All right, another one on global bodies. This time it's about the Asian Development Bank, or ADB. The question is, who does it operate under? You've got IMF, IBRD, and ECAFE as your options.
And the answer here is CECFE. So, the ADB operates under the umbrella of the UN's Economic Commission for Asia and the Far East. Oh, and a quick side note, that body is now known as ESCAP, which stands for the Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific. Good to know. Okay, let's bring it back home to the Indian economy. We're talking about some of the greats here. The question is, which Indian economist is really known for doing the foundational, the groundbreaking work on national income? I bet you know this name.
Of course, it's the one and only V.K.R.V. Rao. His work was just a complete game changer for how national income was estimated in India. He brought a real scientific and systematic approach to the whole process. Okay, that wraps up our first block of questions. For our second section, we're shifting gears and diving into the world of banking and credit systems here in India. Let's see what we've got.
Question 26. This one is all about definitions. So what do we call those banks that are listed in the second schedule of the RBI Act of 1934 and also have a paid-up capital and reserves of at least 5 lakh rupees? What's the official term?
And the term is scheduled bank. I mean, the question basically gives you the definition right there. The key thing to remember about scheduled banks is that because they meet these criteria, they get certain perks from the RBI, like being able to borrow money at the official bank rate. Next up, let's talk about agricultural credit. When you look at all the money being loaned out for farming and related activities in India, which type of institution provides the biggest chunk of it? Is it the microfinance guys, the regional rural banks, the co-ops, or the big commercial banks? And the answer might surprise some of you. It's D, commercial banks. Now, you might think, wait, weren't RRBs and cooperative banks set up specifically for this? And you'd be right, but in terms of sheer volume and the total share of credit, the commercial banks are actually the biggest players in the agricultural sector.
Okay, we're on the home stretch now. For our final section, we're going to unpack some really important ideas from public finance and monetary policy. Let's finish strong.
All right, pay close attention to this one. It's a classic. What exactly does fiscal deficit mean in a budget? This is a formula question, so you got to look at the options really carefully.
And the correct formula is B. The fiscal deficit is your budgetary deficit plus the government's net borrowings and other liabilities. To put it simply, it's the number that tells you exactly how much money the government has to borrow in a year to cover all of its spending. It's a huge indicator of the country's financial health.
Okay, next up is monetary policy. But here's the trick. The question asks which of the following is not an objective of India's monetary policy. So you're looking for the odd one out. Read the options carefully.
The odd one out is C, regulating foreign trade. Think about it. Regulating imports and exports is the job of the government's trade policy, sometimes called the EXIM policy. That's not what the RBI's monetary policy is for. The RBI is focused on the big stuff like price stability, pushing for economic growth, and keeping the exchange rate stable.
And here we are, our last question for today's session. This one is about taxes. Specifically, in a regressive tax system, what happens to the tax rate as your income goes up?
And this image explains it perfectly. The answer is D. As your income goes up, the tax rate actually goes down. Just look at the graph. The x-axis is the tax base, your income. The y-axis is the tax rate. And see that line for regressive tax or a pratagami kar? It's sloping downwards. More income, lower rate. That's the whole idea of a regressive tax.
So there you have it. That was our 10-question rapid-fire round. We really covered a lot of ground, didn't we? From national income with the CSO and NSO to economic unions, the IDA and ADB, scheduled banks, agricultural credit, that all-important fiscal deficit, monetary policy goals, and finally, regressive taxes.
So, I have a question for you now. Out of all those 10 topics, which one made you pause and think, I need to brush up on that? Be honest. Let us know down below. We love hearing from you. We'll see you in the final part of our 2016 paper analysis. Until then, happy studying.